Hi, I'm Bob with Premier Water Cleaning Systems, here to help with all your solar panel cleaning needs. Today I'm going to take apart the C-Series brush from SolaTecs. And if you want to know more about how it operates and all that, we have other videos, or just call us and we can help you out with that. So basically, the brushes themselves actually just pull directly off. Sometimes they're pretty stiff, so we've got a couple of tricks to help you get them off. So like try and pull on it. Yeah, this one's a little bit stiff here. The easiest way is to take a screwdriver and find the groove here and just kind of do that. The second way is to take off the end of this brush, and then you can actually tap on the shaft itself. So that goes off really easy. Just going to set this to the side, and now you can kind of see where it was priming. It's right next to the housing, and you just need to get it started, and it comes off real easy. So this is the complete drive unit for the brush. If you look at it closely, you'll notice that the right hand side here is a square, the left hand side is a hex, and that is with the brush in the mode that it would turn this direction. If I turn it over, obviously it would be turning the other direction, and the two ends have swapped. So I'm going to completely disassemble this unit here, and I've got a 30mm wrench, a 3mm Allen wrench, and then these two tools that actually come with the unit. I forget what size of that one is. And then I also have a gooseneck to help out. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is take out the water pin, and right here on this neck is a small Allen wrench compared to the others on here, and that is what holds in the water pin. So, and that's what this tool is for. Okay, so once you have that screw out, it's really hard to grab the water pin, so that is why I have the gooseneck here. I'm going to connect it like I normally would. Get it on there, and then this basically becomes your leverage. Sometimes it is stiff even then. I find that if you, again, just kind of pop it out of its seat, it comes out pretty easy. So this is the water pin, and this is actually the orifice that regulates how much water flow there is. And if you turn this on, it shoots straight out like that. Inside the water pin, there's also a water filter. That's actually inside the inlet here, and use this to take it out if you want to take it out. And there is the water filter. It's a screen that is replaceable around a nut assembly, if you will. This plastic housing comes off as well, and it's just 4 screws. We can take that off, but it really doesn't change the gears, which is what I really want to get to on this project. I don't think that is yeah, that's right. All right, so I'm going to take my 3mm Allen wrench and take off these 2 screws here. So then that comes off with it, and then you can pop up this lock key, if you will. So once you get those off, take your 30mm wrench. A little bit of gusto, you take this off here. So this is going to get you to the gears inside, as well as the whole shaft and bearings and everything come out. So as I undo this, you want to be very careful at this point to see just how things come apart. So this time the turbine came out. It comes out on either side, depending on which one you're pulling out. And if I dumped this on its side, all the parts from the other half are going to come out. So you're going to want to watch that. And in between the turbine and each of the sets here is a little teeny spacer. Very easy to fall out and misplace. So watch out for those kinds of things. You can kind of see inside potentially. You can see the other gears internally, and actually they're exactly the same on both sides. So if I pull the turbine off, which connects the 2, you'll see that. This turbine is directional, so you see that it's cupped. The water comes in and goes this way, and you can see where it would shoot in at the top here. You want it to catch, the groove, so it instead of catching it going away from you. So when it's time to reassemble, you want to put it in that direction. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and take apart the whole side here. So you can usually just bring up the whole shaft. You'll see the rest of the inner gears. And I'm just going to take that whole shaft out. And again, being careful, kind of set that down. Okay, so I'm going to show you inside there. So there are 3 outer gear rings inside here that match up with the 3 layers of this unit here. And they're kind of very tight fit, so I'm not going to pull them out today. But you need some, either work it back and forth like this, or if it's really tight, you might need to get a little tool in there and pull on it, but I'll pull the first one out. They're all three identical, and they look just like this, with teeth on one side most of the way down, and then the side that doesn't have teeth goes in first. And there's little notches to line it up properly, and then you just push it in. Also inside here, which sometimes comes out on its own, are the bearings. And there are, that one's not coming out. I can get it out, but they're both identical. So they're sealed bearings with a spacer that goes between the two. So you got your first bearing inside there, a spacer, and then another bearing. And eventually those will wear out and you need to replace them. But right now, this one is perfectly fine. So on here, we've got, I'm going to pull off this first layer here, and each one of these layers has got 3 gears here, and all these gears come off and are replaceable. Inside the center, is the little spacer I was talking about. It is a little plastic washer, and there's 2 different thicknesses, depending on what model or what time frame of gears you have. And these are to kind of keep these from rubbing on each other. This is the thinner of the 2 spacers, and it is used between this guy here and this turbine that has a hub on it that's inserted in. And so if you look at it, you got black and then gray plastic, and so that's got a separate hub, and it uses a smaller spacer. If you look at the back of this one, it does not have that hub, so the spacer between these 2 is going to be the thicker. So I'm going to pull that out to show you that. So I don't know if you can tell the difference, but that is much thicker than this one. And I'm going to put them both on there. It's actually 0.5 millimeter and 1.5 millimeters. So it's really easy to tell the difference. You just got to know if you got a hub or not, and whether to use it. So other than that, these 2 are exactly the same. Same gears, same gear disc body is what they call it, with the pins there. And then the last piece on this side is the transmission adapter. And on the back, instead of having a gear, it has this that fits inside and attaches to the shaft. And again, there is a spacer in between these 2 as well. So the way these work is this spins the fastest from the water jet. This spins a little bit slower, and until we get to the speed we want the brush. And it does that through a planetary motion based on these and those gears. I can take off the other side, but it's exactly the same. You want to make sure you don't put the wrong shaft on the other side, because if you do, when you're using it, the brushes might come apart because they are threaded. One's reverse thread and one's standard thread. So you want to make sure you have the shafts on the correct side. In putting it back together, usually I will go ahead and you know, put a whole side together, stick it in there, so I've got basically that, and then I'll put in the turbine, or actually, I usually put in the turbine on the side that I've just put together first, and then I'll put the second side together, and just kind of be careful and just don't tip either one that direction so the washers don't come off, or the spacers. And then when we're putting it back together, you'll want to tighten this just until this lines back up, so that this clip will mate with this indentation here. And then it will be the right tightness and ready to go. There's several things to look for on worn parts and stuff, but as far as actually putting it together and taking it apart, it's relatively simple as long as you have the right tools. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call, and enjoy your brush. Have a great day.